Have you ever clicked on an investing video and within 20 seconds you're just like, yeah, nope, not for me? You see the charts, you hear the complicated words, people start talking about options, ETFs, margins, and your brain just checks out. You're thinking, I don't even know what any of that means. Investing just sounds like gambling with extra steps. If that's you, then stick around. Because today I'm going to explain why investing feels so scary and what it actually is in simple English. Let me introduce you to someone. Meet Jason. Jason works hard. He pays his bills on time and he tries to tuck a little money away each month. But whenever someone says the words, you should invest, his stomach just drops. See, in his mind, investing looks like a scene from a movie. It's people in expensive suits yelling on the floor of Wall Street. It's this crazy, jagged charts flying up and then crashing down, and it's the stories he's heard about people losing everything overnight. So Jason tells himself the same thing over and over. It's just fancy gambling. I'd rather keep my money in the bank. At least there I know it's safe. Maybe you felt that exact same way, and you're not wrong to feel it. There are 3 huge reasons why investing feels so terrifying for people like Jason, and maybe for you. First, it's made to look complicated. Most of the videos and articles out there start at chapter 10 of the story. They immediately throw words at you like dividends and indexed funds, without ever starting at chapter 1. What is investing really? It's like being asked to solve a calculus problem before you've even learned basic addition. Second, we are wired to hear the horror stories. The news loves a good crash. Market plummets, bubble bursts. We hear about the people who lost their savings. We rarely hear about the millions of normal people who quietly invest a little bit each year and do just fine. Our brains are designed to spot danger. So when we hear investing, we think danger. And third, the simplest reason of all, nobody taught us. In school, we learned how to label a triangle. We learned that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
But did anyone ever have a class on how to grow your money? For most of us, the answer is a hard no. So when we finally hear about it as adults, it feels like we missed an important class that everyone else took. Of course it feels scary. Anything that looks complicated, sounds risky, and feels unfamiliar is going to feel like gambling. So let's change that right now. Let's start at the real beginning. What is investing actually? Forget the charts, forget Wall Street, forget all of it for a second. Think of your money like this. You can store it, or you can give it a job. When you keep all your money in a jar or in a basic bank account, you're storing it. It just sits there. It's safe, but it's not really growing. It's like having a very talented employee that you've asked to just sit in a chair on the corner all day. When you invest, you are giving your money a job. You're sending it out into the world to work for you. You put it into something that has the potential to grow over time. That could be a tiny piece of a company you use every day, like the one that made your phone. That's called a stock. Or it could be a tiny piece of a huge basket of many companies all at once. That's often called a fund. But the idea is the same. Investing is simply letting your money work for you, instead of you being the only one working for your money. That's it. That's the secret. There's no magic password. There's no exclusive club you weren't invited to. It's not about becoming a trader overnight. It's about changing your perspective. Seeing your money not just as something you spend, but as a tool you can use. So the next time you hear that word, investing, don't picture a scary chart. Picture your money putting on a little hard hat and getting to work for you.
Let's talk about the big fear, the one that bubbles up the second you think about putting your money to work. The question that sounds like an accusation. But isn't that just gambling? It's a fair question. Sometimes people absolutely treat investing like a casino, but they are not the same thing. Gambling is putting your money into something you don't understand. It's making a quick, hopeful bet. It's rolling the dice and letting luck take the wheel. Think about someone like Jason. Jason hears about a random hot stock from a friend at work. He doesn't know what the company does. He hasn't looked at a single chart or report. He just hears the phrase, "It's going to the moon," and throws his money at it. That is not investing. That is a lottery ticket with extra steps. That's gambling. Because he's not relying on knowledge, he's relying on a whim, on a jolt of excitement. But real investing is different. It's quiet. It's about learning what you're putting your money into. It's about understanding that risk is always part of the equation, but it's a risk you can manage, not a blind guess.
And most importantly, it's about giving your money time to grow. So let's go back to Jason. Instead of chasing that hot tip, what if he took a different path? He learns that most successful investors don't bet on single moonshots. They invest in big baskets of companies, hundreds, even thousands at a time. And they stay invested for years. The goal changes completely. He's no longer trying to double his money by Friday. He's trying to grow it slowly and steadily over the next 10, 20, even 30 years. Gambling asks the loud, frantic question, how much can I win right now? But investing asks a much calmer, more thoughtful question. How can I quietly grow my money over time so my future self has more options? One is a firework. The other is a savings account with a superpower. Once Jason understands this fundamental difference, something inside him just shifts. The pressure lifts. He realizes he doesn't need to become a Wall Street genius overnight. He doesn't need to chase those crazy, risky bets that keep him up at night. He doesn't need to get rich quick. He just needs to get started. He can learn the basics, he can start with small, manageable amounts of money, and he can choose those safer, diversified options, letting time, the most powerful force in finance, do most of the work. Suddenly, investing stops feeling like a frantic night at a casino and starts feeling like planting a tree. You don't plant a tiny seed and then stand over it, screaming for it to become a forest by tomorrow.
That would be insane. You plant it, you water it, you make sure it gets sunlight, you protect it, and then you wait. You trust the process. That's investing. So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Investing is not about getting lucky fast. It's about giving your money a job, a purpose, so it can quietly work for you and grow over time. Yes, there's always risk, but with a little knowledge, a lot of patience, and the right mindset, it doesn't have to feel like a gamble. It can feel like planning. It can feel like building. And if you've ever felt like you're too late to start or that this world is too complicated for you, that's simply not true. You're not too late. You're not unqualified. You just haven't been explained things in a calm, simple way yet. In the episodes to come, we'll keep breaking these ideas down. We'll talk about what wealth really means beyond just numbers in an account and how money actually grows over time. For now, just remember, building wealth doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes the strongest wealth is quiet.